As you guys already know, or if you don't know yet, you're not my level. My brain is very large. It's very massive. It can compute like 50 billion things per hour. My IQ is ultra high. Albert Einstein. Who is that? My brain is just massive, a big ultra brain power, and my brain is just too mighty for you guys. You guys cannot comprehend the level of brain power that I possess in my head. That's why today, I don't need to prove anything, but I'm going to show you guys how my brain is ultra smart, mega brain, big brain power. I'm gonna be taking riddle test. Not that I need to take the test, just to show all the haters, the doubters, that I'm in my ultra brain power. That's what I'm taking the test. Today, I am going to be taking. You can take along too, but I'm sure you can never. You're not my level. You cannot become my level. You can try and take the test too if you want. I'm going to be taking the real test. You can participate, but you will lose to me because my brain power surpasses every brain power in the entire universe of the world. Yes, I said universe of the world. Yes, ultra brain power. We're going to be taking a real test. This test I got from. I'm not going to tell you this. I will tell you this later. This test, if you solve 10% of these riddles, you're better than Sherlock. Who is Sherlock near me? Sherlock now who? Sherlock. Who is actually Sherlock? I don't know who that person. I think he's a detective of some sort. We're going to take in the test today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and yes, do everything you're supposed to do before I start this video. Like, subscribe right now, the moment. Right now, the moment. Subscribe. Let's go there.
A missing detective. Detective Henry Parker went missing.
Let's restart because I have to. My ultra brain power has to load. Initializing super brain power mode level 50 million. Let's go activate. Let us go there.
A missing detective. Detective Henry Parker went missing while investigating a tricky case. His friend, Detective Davis, discovered that one of their colleagues was behind this disappearance. Davis visited Parker's home, and his friend's wife gave him a note. "Henry asked me to give it to you if something happened to him. Please find my husband." On the note, there were just 4 letters, 2867. Davis started to question his colleagues. "I've been on vacation all week, don't you remember?" said Tess. Jack was worried. "I haven't seen Parker for a couple of days. Do you think something awful has happened to him?" And Nora replied, "I'm just a trainee. Detective Parker gave me a task and I was busy doing it." Davis thought for a while, looked at the note again, and understood who was guilty. You have 7 seconds to do the same.
It is Tess. Look at her smile. Look at her smile. Look at how she's smiling. That is smile of a maniac.
It was
Look at the
Tess.
face.
2867.
I tell you,
the first letters of
ultra
these
brain
numbers
power.
make up her name.
My brain power is too much. You cannot understand the big brain. Awooga, let's go. You see,
The main suspect.
the brain power is a much. The
One
level
evening,
of understanding
Emma went to take
is
out the
powerful.
trash from her coffee shop. She was about to leave when she spotted something dark in the corner behind the trash bins. It was a young woman, and she was unconscious. Emma rushed to her. The girl's bag and smartphone were lying nearby on the ground.
Wait, let me check something. Okay, we are still safe. Let's continue this brain power test.
The first person on the contacts list was named Big Sis. Emma called the number and heard a female voice. "I found your sister lying on the ground. It seems someone hit her on the head." "Oh my, how awful. I'll come immediately." Next, Emma called the police. The sister and the police officers arrived at the same time. "Arrest this woman. She's behind the attack." And Emma pointed at the sister. Why did she say so?
How can she come faster than the police? I mean, she was near.
She didn't tell the sister where to come. How did she know the address?
Even though I'm still ultra
A
brain
lost
power.
watch.
I'm
Mia
still
was
ultra
a
brain
shop
power.
assistant on a giant cruise liner. Once she found a super expensive watch in the boutique she worked in and announced it on the radio. Soon, 4 people
Titanic
appeared.
things.
Each of them claimed it was their watch. Mia looked at all of them attentively and realized who the
You
watch
sell it.
belonged to.
Sapa.
Can you figure it out too?
It is the guy now. Look at his hand.
The
There's
man
a
does
watch
have a
mark.
watch tan
See,
line,
when
but
you
it's
wear
much
watches
bigger than
like
the
a
watch
me,
Mia
you
found.
see the watch mark.
The
Look at
young
my
girl
own.
already
It is
has a
ultra-
watch on her left hand. Why would she
ultra
wear
brain
the
power.
second one?
The brain
The
power.
elderly lady must be very absent-minded. Her dog is wearing her watch as a collar. So, the watch must belong to the teenager. Granny's Riddles. Mark was starving after a long day at the university.
It's a lie,
His
they
apartment
lie,
was
they lie,
too
bad,
far
they lie.
away,
It's a
so
lie.
he decided to
I
drive.
don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. You're not smart. You're not smart. You're not smart. Forget about it. Forget about it, man. You're not my brain. Forget about
By
it.
his granny's.
Talking nonsense.
He
You know
knew
what
she
you're saying.
always had something tasty to treat him to. Unfortunately, his granny had a quirk. First, a visitor had to crack her riddle, and then they got as much food as they could eat. This time wasn't any different. Granny gave Mark a slip of paper. There, it was written, "Little, little, late,
Which kind
late."
of
Can
help
you
from the
understand
shelf
what it
granny
means?
is this? Little, late, late. Late, late. Little,
Too little, too late.
This is a fake radio. What is the meaning of this? This is rubbish. It's rubbish. I don't know what they're saying. It's rubbish.
A mysterious scientist. Joanna made a bet with her friends. She had to go to a deserted house in the middle of their town at
Things that white
night.
people do.
No
Horror
one
movie
lived
kind
there,
of scenarios.
and the house was supposed to be demolished soon. But
Wow.
rumor had it, a mad scientist used that building as his lab. It was about 3 a.m. when the girls saw a gloomy, large building. The door was slightly ajar. She entered and saw a huge dark hallway.
His
Suddenly,
hair like
someone
mango.
switched
Look
on the
at
light,
shape
and
of
Joanna
his
saw a
head.
bizarre-looking man
Look
in a
at
lab
the
coat.
shape of the
He
head.
stood there and stared at
Kind
her for
of
a
like-
few seconds before
Oh
saying,
boy, the head is
"Good
big,
morning,
oh.
I'm
The big
Dr.
pa.
Clark." "But you aren't real,"
The head is
Joanna
big, cold.
exclaimed. How did the girl figure it out?
Look at he get am put 2 mirror. The mirror he show say he no be real person. He bring I can't
Even though the scientist had
look
a
at it.
reflection
In
in
case
the
the
mirror,
shadow. I
he
tell you, the
didn't
shadow
cast a
you know they
shadow.
there.
It
The
was
shadow
a
you know they there.
hologram.
Yeah, hologram. I tell you, my brain
An
it
accident
will
in
be
a dance
it will be
studio.
guy.
Once, a dance studio owner found Dylan, one of the instructors, lying on the
There's so many
floor
dead
in one of the
people in this
rooms.
thing now.
Someone had hit the man on the head. The owner called the police. They questioned the dance studio workers and visitors and found 3 suspects. Chloe, a regular, said she hadn't visited the studio for several days. She had several days off and spent them sunbathing on the beach. Ethan, another instructor, told the police his friend had called him and asked for help. That's why he had left the studio before Dylan came to work. Layla, Dylan's girlfriend, admitted they had quarreled earlier in the morning, but after that, she went to her best friend to talk about this situation. The police officers understood right away who was behind the attack.
It is this one with the red bag. I don't like her face. I just know it's her.
It was Chloe. She
what
said
I
she had
said.
spent several days on the beach, but her
That's what I said.
skin
There was
is
no sun.
extremely pale.
It's not see. Yeah, what I
Only
said.
one
The Chloe
portal.
girl.
Luke took part
Chloe
in a
girl.
scientific experiment.
She's
but
no. I don't like her
something went
vibe. I
terribly
don't like her
wrong.
vibe.
He ended up in a place where there was nothing but 3 portals. One of them led to a polar desert in Antarctica. The second one opened into a volcanic crater filled with molten lava. And behind the third portal, there was the dinosaur age with huge diplodocuses roaming around. Which portal should the man choose?
Diplodocus, they're not a real type of dragon. I say dragon, dinosaur, Diplodocus place. There's not a dinosaur like Diplodocus.
Luke would freeze in no time in a polar desert. Molten lava isn't even an option. But diplodocuses are totally harmless to people. They only eat plants.
You see, I told you.
A
Ultra
dangerous
brain
teacher.
power.
Marta was walking through the park near her home in the evening.
Next.
It was dark and there was nobody around. Suddenly, her bag was grabbed from behind and the person bolted
Wow.
away. Marta
Snatch
took
her.
off after them. She was
Oh la
pretty
la.
sure this person was a woman, but she couldn't
Woman,
make out her
woman.
appearance or clothes. The woman disappeared inside a school building. When Marta ran inside, she saw 3 teachers. The girl looked at them attentively and soon figured out which one had taken her bag. Can you do the same?
If this girl that have clutches, the clutch supposed to be on her hand if she has broken her leg.
The woman in the middle wouldn't be able to run away with a cast on her leg. The one on the right doesn't have anything in her hands. Where would she hide Marta's bag so quickly? But the
See,
woman
that's what
on
I
the
said.
left has a
The
big
woman in the
shopper
dress.
bag on her shoulder.
The brain
A
power
real
is
teacher
too
wouldn't need to carry it
much.
in the classroom. Missing paintings. Detective Henry Taylor was getting ready for work when he heard screams from his neighbor's house. He rushed there. The door was locked. The man had to kick it several times before it gave way. He found his neighbor, Miss Anderson, in the living room. She was tied to a chair. "Oh, I'm so happy you heard me shouting. An hour ago, a man knocked on my door and said he was an electrician. But as soon as I let him in, he tied me up and took all the priceless paintings I had got from my grandfather. And then he just ran away, leaving me here." Detective Taylor had to arrest the woman for staging the theft.
You are lying.
How did he
now.
know?
You say you stole your paint, never say who tied you? You tied yourself. You tied
When he
yourself.
tried to get into the house, the door was locked from the inside. Who could do it if Miss Anderson was tied up
These
and
people
the
are
thief
lying.
ran out of the house in a hurry?
They are lying.
A car accident.
They are lying. They don't know
Emily
what they
had
are
been
saying.
dreaming of having her own car for ages, and finally she got it. The girl was so happy that she immediately went for a drive. She was a careful driver and never broke any traffic rules. But suddenly,
Damn.
she heard a nasty screeching sound and was jolted forward. When she got over her shock, she saw a red Toyota disappearing into the distance. It was a hit and run.
Hit and
Emily was
run?
extremely upset. In an awful mood, she continued on her way. 10 minutes later, though, she saw the very same red Toyota parked near a cafe. Emily ran inside and saw 3 visitors. The girl didn't need long to figure out who the driver that had hit her car was.
Let's look at it. This is the girl.
It was the man on the right. The 2 other
Like I said,
visitors are
the man on the
already
right.
eating, but he's still looking through the menu.
You see? It is the man on the right.
A
That's what I
stuck
said also.
ball.
Ultra brain power.
Martin was playing with his new football. At one moment, he kicked it a bit too hard. The ball flew into the air and fell down a hollow fence post. The post was very narrow, and the ball barely fit there, but still, it got to the very bottom. Try as he might, Martin couldn't get the ball out of the pipe. Luckily, his friend David joined him. In no time, the second boy helped Martin to get his ball back. How did he do it?
Use his big PP. Use white power. Boy is white. Use white power.
David used a water hose lying nearby. He filled
Use
the
white
pipe
power.
with water and the ball
white power.
floated up.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and please share my video because YouTube is not taking it easy with me. I don't know what I did to offend YouTube. My past or my few videos, YouTube has I can make a whole video complaining about YouTube. I did a bit of it. I made a video about YouTube Rewind, and YouTube was not in fair with me, honestly. I made an appeal and they sent me an email. I think I'll put the email here of what YouTube said to me, and gosh. What do me gone? It do me bad. Please tell me how many videos you get correct in the comments below, and make sure to do everything I know. And remember, I am still smarter than you. My brain is still a mega. It gets for a mega 500 billion million IQ.